So the third and also very important part of the conscious gems are the physical locations. You can see them in black, all of their lines that are indicated in black, and practically the vessels are the ones that are holding the energy together, and they're bringing the energy down to the physical world, to where we are and where we're living. The physical locations, as we have seen from the ones that have started appearing in our path, are of three different categories. There are locations that are used for activation, so for activation of the new members coming in. There are locations that already have been activated themselves, and their characteristics is usually that they are very close or surrounded by water. So we're talking about islands, for example, as we have in Sweden. And these locations are available for a specific period of time. They can host a specific number of people, and they will have very concrete and defined actions. So these locations will be the activation locations. And the first category we have about physical locations. The second category are the co-living locations. From the ones that we already have, we have seen that the co-living locations, they have also very specific characteristics. Usually they are located away from cities, but easily approachable. Many times they have possibility to have a very beautiful garden with vegetables, with fruits, with the basics to sustain the actual community living there. They're surrounded by nature, either forests or farms, and many times there are locations that are also very beautifully created. So there are boutique hotels, there are chateaux, there are very beautiful spaces that their owners don't want to use them anymore for other types of activities. They really want to offer them to humanity, to be able to be held in a space that will allow it to grow further. So in the co-living locations, there will be the possibility to stay for a longer period of time. So usually the members will be able to enter into the co-living locations after they have passed their own activation in one of our activation locations. There they can stay as little or as much as they want. So it can be from a couple of days until a couple of months, as much as they feel that they need to grow. As these locations are spread around the world, the idea is to intuitively choose which location in which country will allow you to grow further in the specific part that you're working in this specific time for your self-growth. So the co-living locations will be the second category. And the third category are the business locations. The business locations have also specific characteristics. So they are usually inside cities, important cities, big cities, or they are in places that important events are happening that are related to business. The business locations are focused into sustainable business, social projects, and every kind of project or business is looking to change the way that they are functioning towards a much more respectful and conscious way of being part of our market and our system and our financial system right now. All of the three locations have one common characteristic. The ones who are behind them, the ones who are creating them, the ones who imagine them, the ones who bought them, the ones who built them, they truly believe in the rising of humanity, and they want to dedicate their spaces into this cause. So if you know locations that are in one of these three categories and they have this intention, please let us know. For now, some of the locations that we have already been talking to are in Sweden, in France, in Switzerland, and in Sri Lanka, and here in Pakistan. And one more just appeared, maybe in Costa Rica. So the locations is a very, very important part, and we're lucky enough to be the first one that has appeared in our path. So we are creating the business model of how these locations can be established and how we can create a model that is sustainable for them to be able to cover their costs and sustain the community. Also, any type of ideas on the business models that can be created, new types of business models, new types of income streams. They are very, very welcome. All the locations can be called the vessels. So the vessels are the ones that are holding, as a vessel, as a cap, our community, so to be able to grow. The vessels will need specific types of services, so they are livable. They will all need, first of all, one host that will be responsible, let's say, for their house, because we want all of them to feel like a home. We don't want them to feel like a hotel. We don't want them to feel as a business training center. No, it's a home. It's a home for activation. It's a home for living. It's a home for business. So the host is the one who's welcoming everybody who is coming there and allow them to feel secure and open so they can activate their first chakra. As art has been one of our major ways of opening up into new ideas and creating ruptures in our consciousness so new information can come in, art will be a very, very important part of the vessels, included both in the people arriving, in the processes of integration and welcoming, and also in the actual creation of the space. So art, in these ways, will be able to activate the second chakra of everybody who's arriving. And then the more practical part of the vessels will be the team. And when I say team, everybody who is living there, doesn't matter if they're living for 3 days or for 3 months, they are part of the team. Each one can share all the necessities, and it will help in all the necessities like cooking, cleaning, gardening, and shopping, because actually this is the real practice. We will talk about that later. So all the vessels will be supported by the users. So the rest of the chakras, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth, will be activated from the users. So from funding, energetic activation, healing, and actually from all the contributions that the users are taking. So home, wisdom, friends, and activation. So all these chakras, we're up to the sixth, will be activated from the people who are using the space, as we talked before. And the seventh chakra, the connection, comes from personal practice. So everything that is happening in the space, it's not just because it needs to happen. The way you are practicing how to cook your food is the way you're practicing how to live your life. The way you're practicing how to clean your room is the way you're practicing how to purify yourself. The way you're practicing how to garden is the way you treat the earth. The way you're practicing the shopping is how conscious you are in your needs, your nutritions, and the ways that this will create. So all of them is one of the most important parts. It's all under the personal spiritual practice. And this will be the one that will allow you to open the seventh and higher chakra to have a full body activation. So these are the vessels, and please, I would love to hear insights, ideas, business models, anything that is related to physical locations, ideas about architecture, ideas about locations that you know, or your own location. Just please let us know. Thank you.